Hello Pipe community, Barepipe here. Today it's a continuation of the Barepipe project. If you haven't seen it before, check out my previous two videos where I give you some more background on this project. The challenge I set for myself at the beginning of this project was that I did not want to restain this pipe, but I had to top the bowl because of the fact that it was severely charred, and I needed to figure out a way to restain the top of the bowl to match the rest so that it looked like it was all part of the original. In this video, I'm going to quickly show you how I top the bowl, how I bevel the inside to get rid of most of the charring, in fact all the charring I got rid of. But then the bulk of the video is going to be about my multiple attempts to get the stain to match. I tried two different methods, but I had to do it 4 times before I got it right. And I'm going to show it to you warts and all. I'm going to show you the 3 failures plus the one that did work. And the only lesson I took from this was, if you want to do this, be patient. Okay, it's time to top the bowl. And just to keep everybody's mind refreshed on what we were doing, we've got some charring on this side and a little bit on this side that we need to get rid of on this bowl. So the first thing I'm going to do is top the top of the bowl. And to do that, I want to know how much I'm going to be taking off. So we're going to take a caliper and we're going to put it on millimeters, and we're going to calibrate it to 0, and then I want to measure how tall is the bowl, and I'm going to do it like this, and I'm getting a value there of 40.33 millimeters. So I don't want to go down 39.33 when I top the bowl, because of the fact that when you take too much off, you start changing the shape of the bowl. So here's what I'm going to be using. I'm using a 320 grit sandpaper, torn off a little quarter of a sheet. I'm going to actually take the stem off just in case I damage or scratch it. And now careful circular motions, and it's very important to keep things flat so that you do it evenly. So what I usually do is I grab the paper in 2 corners like this, and I start moving in a circular motion. It's 39.71, so I'm at about 2/3 to maybe a 3/4 of a millimeters there. And I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the beveling on the inside edge and see if we can get rid of the rest like that. So here's how I do a bevel. I go and buy a little wooden bowl. They come in different sizes. This is a bigger one for bigger bowls. This is a smaller one for the smaller bowls. You get these at art supply stores. It is essentially a doll's head that you're buying of different sizes, and has a hole on one end, which is irrelevant. And then I go and I cut out a circle from a piece of sandpaper, cut little wedges into it, and glue it onto the bowl. And then I have a circle or sphere that is going into a cylinder. And that means as I'm sanding this, I don't have to worry about keeping the angles perfect, because of the fact that as I'm pressing into the bowl, I'm pressing on all 4 sides. The edge is continuously pressured in the same way by the sphere. I bought a whole bunch of furniture touch-up pens. I've read about this on the internet, that people use this. I've never done it before, so this is all new to me. And they use this to blend stains back in with each other. It's going to be clear. That's too red, that's too dark. Maybe possible to touch up with this one, just a couple of spots just to highlight some grain. So here's what I'm going to try. I'm going to use this natural, and I'm going to just, you know what, let's just color it and see what happens. It seems a little, I'm wondering what happens when I go with the light oak over that. What will happen? Does it make it? Because it feels a little too red right now. I need a little more of this yellow, I think. I gotta be honest with you, right now I'm not loving it. I think this may work for a wood fill or something where you have something really small that you're trying to fill in. But for something this big, I don't think it's doing it. See, that looks far more realistic. You can see that the darker areas kind of absorb the tan a bit. I think maybe I want to put a tiny bit of black into it. I would like to get a little more definition of grain on that top. So. I think we're good. So the lesson for this one is, if it doesn't work the first time, try something different, and then it'll work the second time. I've lived with this now for a few days, and I'm just not happy with the color. In different light conditions, and it's actually amazing how much it changes depending on the kind of light you're in. In certain light conditions, it's too red. And I realize my problem is I'm using the wrong color dye. So I've gone back to the leather store and I picked up some different color dyes, and I'm going to clean this off and I'm going to start over. Because if it's not right, it's not right. So I have two different stains that I've gone and bought at the leather shop. One is a light brown and one is a medium brown. This is more of a neutral brown color than the tan. The tan has a little bit of red in it, and the yellow, of course, is yellow. And I've been struggling between the two of those to get the right tone. So let's see if this makes any difference. Yeah, you see that is a little more of a neutral tone. To say there's very little difference between these two. The dark brown is maybe slightly darker, and I think the dark brown as a first coat may actually be the right way to go. And I'm thinking, because there's a two-tone stain on it, maybe I should work with a two-tone again, which means I need to put a tiny bit of black in here to make it even just a little darker. Okay, now we're going to build it up very slowly and very carefully with the medium brown. I'm going to dilute it quite a bit. So I want to grab a fresh little spot here and Grab my little dropper. I'm going to put some fresh medium brown in there. And I'm going to put some clear in this one. That's about a 50-50 dilution. You know what? I'm going to put just a drop of yellow in there. I'd like to see a little more yellow in there. I'm gonna crank the yellow up quite a bit. So definitely a case of trial and error here to get this to work. But I think this is now looking very much like it's part of the original color tone of the pipe. I'm going to try one more thing, and maybe I'm going to go too far now. Let's hope I don't. Every time I wipe it off, I probably wipe off 60% of what went on there. And I think that's it right there, because now I'm looking at the light tones. This light tone and that light tone matches. Looking at the dark tones, that dark tone and that dark tone matches. That's perfect. That's exactly where I need to stop. No further. This is it.